Coming up, votes for the midterm elections have been cast. Join us as we check on the results.
Then retailers gear up for the holidays. Learn why the early Christmas push is so important.
Finally, UNO students collaborate to bring their independent film to Omaha's Film Festival.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
Good afternoon. I'm Austin Ulmer.
And I'm Addison Parr. Republicans will maintain their power of Nebraska in the state of Nebraska. Let's begin with the state's gubernatorial race. 20 percentage points separated Republican Jim Pillen from Democrat Carol Blood. And by 11 o'clock last night, he was declared the 41st governor of Nebraska. Two nationally watched contests for Nebraska's District 1 and 2 were neck and neck after the polls closed. As the precinct numbers rolled in, both Republican candidates retained their seats in office. In District 1, Republican Mike Flood held on to the position that was previously held by Jeff Fortenberry. He defeated Democrat Patty Pansing Brooks 58% to 42%. In Nebraska's 2nd District, Don Bacon defeated Democrat Tony Vargas 52% to 48%. He'll begin his 4th term in January.
Across the nation, Republicans fell short of the predicted red wave, and Democrats are expected to retain control of the United States Senate. In Pennsylvania, Democrat John Fetterman narrowly beat Republican Mehmet Oz, flipping the Omit Senate seat currently held by a Republican. This is one of the races that will determine the majority in the chamber. However, other races are still too close to call. In the Georgia race, Democrat incumbent Raphael Warnock holds a razor-thin lead against opponent Republican Herschel Walker. It's confirmed this afternoon that the two will battle again in a runoff December 6th. In Wisconsin, the Associated Press called the seat late this morning for incumbent Republican Ron Johnson. He won by just over a point against Democrat Mandela Barnes. In the country's Southwest, both Nevada and Arizona wait for mail ballots to be counted. Experts there say the results will likely be unknown for several days. Now for the House. As we said earlier, Nebraska will send Republicans to D.C., but other states remain unclear. While the House leans to a Republican takeover by a slim 28-seat margin, key battleground states have yet to declare clear winners in their districts. As for the nation's governors, Democrats claim control of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, while Republicans hold Texas, Florida, and Georgia.
Nebraska campaigns and political committees shattered previous records after raising more than $51 million for state and local political races. Reporter Devin Holcomb finds out if the money spent was worth it for Nebraska residents.
The debates are over and the votes tallied. The Nebraska District 2 votes have spoken. I followed the two candidates on their campaign trail. Both shared a similar message. It's all about the voters.
No, this has been great. This has been amazing. I think the thing I'm most excited about, it's been a year and a half of running this campaign, and we are talking to everybody. We literally talked to hundreds of thousands of voters, and that's what it's going to take. We want to increase civic health. We want to make sure voters understand that they have an opportunity to send somebody to Congress.
I worked my hardest for them, and I'm grateful for the honor to be able to represent them and to work hard for them. My goal is to be as candid and transparent as I can be during a campaign to fulfill my promises. And that's been my principle since 2016. And I've been grateful to be reelected. But I just say thank you. Thank you for the vote. Thank you for their support.
Veterans, civic health, and budgeting were talking points with the two and their constituents. UNO School of Communication professor Dr. Barbara Pickering studies the results of past elections to help predict trends in future voting.
If you look at the research on youth voters, for example, a lot of young people, college students in particular, will say we don't vote because politicians don't listen to us or my single vote doesn't matter. And what I want to highlight is there are lots and lots of races where those single votes can make a difference. Maybe not in a presidential election or Congress, but they certainly matter when it comes to voting for your state legislature or county attorney or city council or school board. I think it will be important for people to unite once the election results are in, accept them, and then if the candidate you voted for does not win, then the next step is for you to be sure to stay in touch with that representative to let him know what it is that you believe so that he knows what the citizens of Nebraska want their representative to do.
Now that Bacon has been reelected, here are a few of his goals for his 4th term.
My immediate goals for the community itself is I've been focused on getting the airport, all the modification money, modernization money. We have a $600 million plan for Eppley Airfield, and a lot of that money is going to come from the infrastructure bill that I voted on. I was one of 13 Republicans who voted for it, and I helped write the bill. And so Eppley Airfield modernization is a big one. We have a $2.5 billion plan for UNMC to make it the research hub for America for pandemics, 10,000 researchers, so a lot of jobs with that. And because I did vote on the infrastructure bill, we're gonna get about $3 billion in roads and bridge money, rural broadband money. So I wanna keep tabs on that, make sure that we're investing in the right things that make a difference in this community.
The seat was a toss-up for most of the race. However, Bacon is sitting with 52% compared to Vargas, who is at 48%. Back to you, Addison.
Thanks, Devin. Sitting next to me is School of Communication professor and political communication expert, Dr. Barbara Pickering. Dr. Pickering, you've covered a multitude of political campaigns and races. This year, we saw by means of advertising and amount of money spent on candidates in key battleground states a large increase. How has this changed the landscape of national influence in local and state campaigns?
So we know that the Political Action Committee spent a tremendous amount of money in this race, particularly the Bacon and Vargas race. And whether you believe that the negative advertising works, it is out there, it is pervasive. You couldn't watch television without being, exposed to those. So I think that makes a big difference. If you go back to 2010, Citizens United really changed the dynamics of how campaigns could spend money and how political action committees could invest without having to disclose donors. That's going to continue to be a factor for as much as we would like to hope that money doesn't buy political seats. It does have an impact.
Republicans predicted a red wave and gaining back control of both the House and the Senate, and obviously that did not happen. So how does this play out over the next 2 years?
So I think the starting point is looking at the polling data. We've talked in a number of places about where the polling data was just not very accurate. That's been true since 2016. 2016 presidential election, it wasn't accurate. 2018, not very accurate. 2020. And so relying on polling data is something that I think we need to be conscious of, and to recognize that when people cover the elections, that the coverage focuses on the issues. And I've talked about this in my class a lot, that it's important to focus on those issues and less of the horse race coverage. Even though the horse race coverage is exciting, it is not necessarily the most useful for the voters.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Pickering. Coming up after the break, retailers prepare for Christmas sales. Learn why it's important to draw customers in early for holiday shopping.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded grass to a full.
IT is so broad that it's not just coding. It can be applied in so many different ways in different areas.
Technology impacts a lot of different things, a lot of different people, and if you can truly put yourself in their shoes and trying to solve that problem, just understanding that why is truly important.
UNO is one of those places where you can come and really get involved in whatever you want.
I ended up taking a bioinformatics class, and I ended up with an MD, PhD. I can do both the research and I can help people.
I chose the College of IS&T because it was my dream to become a data manager, and this college fits the best.
They're really the best people to be teaching the classes because they know and have worked in the field.
There's always a people factor, and getting people that are interested in your development is key to your success.
According to the latest study, in 2021, 43% of consumers said they were most likely to begin their holiday shopping before October ends. Reporter Zachary Hill gives us a look at what this means for local business.
Across the United States, it seems retailers are bringing out their Christmas decorations earlier and earlier each year. Mangelson's, a local Omaha store, knows firsthand just how important this is for their sales. Christmas creep is the phenomenon of retailers introducing Christmas-related merchandise and decorations before the holiday season traditionally starts. To some customers, this may seem excessive or annoying, but to local retailers, it means all the difference. For some merchants, like Mangelson's, holiday shopping can account for up to 30% of their yearly sales.
But then as soon as Halloween's over, November 1st hits, everything's got to get turned around, and we put everything, all the Christmas comes out.
This year, with shoppers still returning to in-person browsing after the pandemic, local stores like Mangelson's are hoping to continue to compete with the online sales of the big box retailers.
It lacks the ability for somebody to come in and actually touch and feel. And that's something that we have here. And you can't get that when you're sitting in front of your computer clicking on a mouse.
Although issues like product shortage and inflation continue to plague the supply chain, with prices averaging a 25% increase in the US in the last year, that doesn't stop folks from getting into the spirit early. Studies even show that decorating for Christmas releases certain levels of dopamine. Christmas lover Tammy Allen already has her gifts wrapped and ready to go for the holiday season.
And you get to experience it for longer if you decorate earlier. So I absolutely agree. I think people like to drive around, look at Christmas lights. I think everything just looks happier.
Mangelson adds that for them, their sales have not only matched pre-pandemic, but have exceeded where they were in 2019, giving local businesses everywhere hope for the same. Mangelson says as long as they keep providing the feeling of the holiday season, folks will keep coming back for the in-store studio.
A local memorial lights up to serve as a dedication to the city and state's military veterans. The 6th annual Veterans Shine On event, grand lighting at Memorial Park, shines red, white, and blue over the World War II colonnade. Although the event honors all veterans, this year the focus is on women who've served. Nebraska's 2nd District Representative and fellow veteran Don Bacon says it's important to honor and support America's military families.
I'm a veteran, and I like honoring veterans. And I think it's important to remind veterans, even though they served and defended our country, the country still needs them. They need their involvement, their voice, whether it's school boards, city councils, in their neighborhood.
Other keynote speakers included Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert and City Council President Pete Feddersen. The National Association of Counties has also established Operation Greenlight. You'll see buildings and businesses throughout Douglas illuminated green in celebration of our veterans.
Because of the city's low housing cost and large charitable community, Omaha is a prime location for refugee resettlement. So when the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan fell in August of 2021, many Afghan refugees ended up in Omaha. Reporter Jamie Harvey has the story of one of those refugees.
When Afghanistan fell to the Taliban, Mushtaba Karimi knew he had to escape. He was a notable official in the president's office and a target. Karimi made his way through the chaos in the crowd at the Kabul International Airport with his political passport, shouting,
I'm a diplomat, I need help, and that person take my hands and to help me.
Like many other Afghan refugees, he landed here at Epley Airfield. Before his trip, he was given a map like this, which shows his journey from temporary housing in a military base in El Paso, Texas, through Atlanta, Georgia, to his new home in Omaha, Nebraska.
Before I worked with the president, lead young generation in Afghanistan. But in the first when I came here, I start Walmart and unloading truck. That's hard.
Karimi is one of over 1,000 Afghan refugees resettled here in Omaha. However, not every Afghan in danger under the Taliban government has made it out of the country. Director of UNO's Center for Afghanistan Studies, Sherjan Ahmadzai, says the U.S. needs to do a better job processing the special immigrant visa applications of Afghans who helped the U.S. military.
There are thousands of applicants still stranded inside and outside Afghanistan waiting for their documents to be processed, and we can do a better job, no doubt on that part.
But escaping Afghanistan is only the first step in a refugee's journey towards a safe, prosperous life. Although it's not as glamorous as his old career, Karimi has an office job again. He is now a caseworker for a refugee resettlement agency.
Now I help another refugee.
For the Omaha News, I'm Jamie Harvey.
According to an October report from the Office of the Inspector General, reports that the U.S. Department of State has over 325,000 unopened emails from special immigrant visa applicants. After the break, Omaha volleyball takes to the road as they look to continue their winning streak against North Dakota State and North Dakota.
Coming up, the Omaha women's soccer team scores a bid to the NCAA tournament as they begin their quest to the Women's College Cup.
I'm a veteran, wear my battle scars like a letterman's. I done crawled through the mud both speed, so I wouldn't underestimate me.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Milevale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
After winning the Summit League for the first time in program history, the Omaha women's soccer team will begin its quest for a national championship. The women's soccer team will play #1 seed Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the first round of the tournament. Though the task may be monumental, Coach Tim Walters says the message to his team is to soak in the moment.
I think we're right where we're supposed to be. I think the team worked really hard over the last month, and I don't think anybody else, deserves this opportunity more than us. Is the big message to the team. They've worked hard for this chance and what they've overcome injury-wise, and we'll kind of be a banged-up group heading to South Bend, but we've earned this opportunity. I'm really proud of the group for doing that.
Omaha enters the tournament with a record of 7-8-6, while Notre Dame enters the match with a record of 14-3-2. Kickoff is scheduled for this Saturday at 1 p.m. on ESPN Plus and on mavradio.fm.
Volleyball in Nebraska is alive and well, and there is one team in the state who's starting to gain some attention.
Success is a feeling the Omaha volleyball team has gotten used to the last 2 seasons, but there remains one big goal: a Summit League title and an NCAA tournament berth. Omaha currently sits second in the conference with a 17-8 overall record and 12-3 in conference play. Omaha has won 12 of their last 13 games and went on an 8-game winning streak earlier in the year. Head volleyball coach Matt Buttermore says it wasn't so much about the win streak, but more about the amount of road games the team faced on that streak. Something he says the team never complained about, but easily could have.
That really came from them handling the travel well, buying into what we were trying to do on and off the court, in between the matches.
Buttermore says that a key component to their success is the camaraderie the team has and that they love being in the gym with each other. An old athletic director told Buttermore practice is for coaches and games are for players, and that, he says, stuck with him and how he approaches coaching.
The players on the team have also learned to appreciate Buttermore's philosophy and strategies he has brought to the court.
Sophomore outside hitter Shayla McCormick says Coach Buttermore brings not only knowledge of the game, but a level of confidence that reflects onto the team.
Our chemistry is really nice, and
sometimes we don't even need to say anything and we know what we're thinking already before the play even happens.
McCormick says Buttermore is calm and collected on the sideline, something the team gets behind because they know he has complete trust in them.
Omaha Volleyball has 3 games remaining in the regular season. The Summit League tournament goes from November 24th to the 26th at Baxter Arena. The Millard North Mustangs are getting ready to take the court in the upcoming 2022-23 high school basketball season. Reporter David Fessner takes us inside Millard North High School.
Millard North boys basketball team is coming off back-to-back state titles, but the reigning champions face uncertainty of a new head coach and some fresh players. The Mustangs are amping up and ready for the season. Mike Etzmiller is the new head coach. He serves as the assistant coach for 13 years under the previous head coach Tim Cannon. Etzmiller says he's seen multiple players advance to Division I competition and says a trend he hopes to continue.
We definitely have talented players. I don't know where they'll go, but I feel like we're a deep team that works hard every day. We're doing the little things right now in open gyms and skill workouts to continue to improve.
The boys basketball team has had nothing but success, appearing in 3 consecutive state tournaments and winning Class A 2 out of the last 3 years. Millard North basketball will put in the hard work and the determination every day to get to their one goal, which is to make state down in Lincoln. After leaving as the athletic director at Platt Smith Schools, new athletic director Keith Malley says he is optimistic about Etzmiller as the new head coach.
He'll be successful, from the get-go. Because he is the type of guy that doesn't want to fail.
One of the biggest obstacles for the Mustangs is having new faces don the blue and white. For the Omaha News, I'm David Fessner.
The Mustangs start their season next month as their first game is against Fremont on December 1st. After the break, students volunteer to pep up Maverick spirits at sporting and campus events. See this machine in action.
Coming up, student screenwriters work to bring their film to the big screen at Omaha's annual film festival.
The media landscape is vastly different from the past. Conglomeration and consolidation have changed the skill sets required to succeed. Journalists must not only know how to conduct research, interview, and write stories, but they also have to know how to shoot and edit the stories they tell. Likewise, creative media professionals must know how to interview, research, and write the stories they shoot and edit. In the School of Communication, we require students to gain experience and proficiencies employers are seeking. The 2 hardest mediated genres to produce are live sports and newscasts. Thus, once our students are taught the basics, they are given opportunities to improve the abilities at these genres. Capstones 1 and 2 feature the culmination of skill sets. Once students produce the Omaha News, they can use it in their demo reel to show their skills. From here, students can go anywhere.
The filmmaking scene in Omaha is on the rise as students take on the production role. Reporter Michael Dart explores the process student filmmakers navigate.
Ben Watts, a student filmmaker, is currently working on a feature-length horror flick, The Plague. The film utilizes both professional stunt coordinators and students starting out in the industry. A challenge by filmmakers is the lack of camera equipment, actors, and other resources. Often, this acts as a barrier for people just starting out. Director Ben Watts says, however, that students have a unique advantage within the field.
$1,000 cameras, another $1,000 lights, so it's very useful for getting all this stuff for free and then returning it. It's a free of charge rent. It's really nice and it's a great resource of a good budget.
Professional film equipment ranges between $200 and $4,000 for basic cameras and lights. Directors often just use their phones to offset the high cost for a very high-quality project. Stunts and makeup are a large part of Ben's upcoming film. Kaylin Sakura says the makeup was a welcome challenge.
Sean, who plays our killer, took a crowbar and hit her over the face with it, and I got to do like this the scarring and the effects when it came to making that all gory, so that was really fun.
Ben expects to premiere his film at the Omaha Film Festival. The festival established itself in 2005 and has since paved the road for aspiring independent filmmakers to showcase their work in front of a massive audience. For the Omaha News, I'm Michael Dart.
Ben Watts invites anyone interested in filmmaking to reach out to his Facebook for a chance to take part in the production of The Plague.
Pep bands are an addition to sporting events with the purpose of keeping up with the crowd's energy. Reporter Lindsay Tagg introduces us to a group on campus that gives students a chance to boast their super fan spirit.
UNO's pride plays through the upbeat music provided by the Maverick Machine, UNO Athletics' resident pep band. Under the direction of Dr. Joshua Kearney, he says the band gives students that join an enriching experience.
It's a super fun activity. The group only rehearses as needed to prepare for the music that they provide at games. And we're always looking for ways to continue showing what the students, the very talented students in the Maverick Machine, are capable of.
The Maverick Machine primarily performs at men's and women's basketball, volleyball, and hockey games. The Machine plays at about 46 games per year. The group separates students into the black, red, or white band after auditions in order to split up the schedule to make participation manageable for all those involved. Dr. Kearney says that auditions for the Maverick Machine are open to any student that would like to participate. I should start practicing. UNO senior Lydia Kirkland has been a member of the Maverick Machine for 4 years. She says she enjoys the escape and experience the group provides.
Band because it's music that is very familiar to me.
Kirkland says the band bestows an atmosphere for students to show off their talent to a crowd while also supporting their peers playing the game. Students that audition and participate in the Machine are given a $500 cash stipend at the end of the season for their work and dedication. Dr. Kearney says members of the group are always excited to produce an energetic and fun atmosphere for Maverick fans. For the Omaha News, I'm Lindsay Tagg.
The Maverick Machine also brings in band directors from Omaha metro area schools to act as guest conductors at performances, giving the members a chance to learn from all sorts of different teachers. That's all for today. Join us again next week for more news and entertainment in the Heartland.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at UNO, the Omaha News, or find our website for even more news and story at unonews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.
Welcome to the Omaha News. We are Omaha.
The complex was condemned by the city in January for numerous safety reasons.
We are truth tellers and award winners.
They process and recycle approximately 100,000 tons of material.
We are a community of strength and a team of big dreams. We are the Omaha News, where the people are the story.
It is the longest-running Omaha-based statewide television program on the air today. Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Wyatt, producer and host of Consider This. Now in our 25th season, we wish to acknowledge those who have made this educational journey possible. Our guests, underwriters, student crews, the Knowledge Network, the University of Nebraska at Omaha, and of course, viewers just like you. Thank you for watching.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
There's a unique educational experience right here in Omaha. With access to top-rated programs, in-demand degrees, and a worldwide community of graduates, UNO prepares students for life, wherever it may lead. From Omaha to Italy to Uganda to Japan, Mavericks are working in communities around the globe. So where will a degree from UNO take you? UNO, access to exceptional, access to the world. Learn more at unomaha.edu.